Welcome to the third night of our virtual Student Awards ceremony. Thank you for tuning in and supporting student achievement at Maryville College. My name is Dr. Nathan Duncan, and I will be introducing Outstanding Senior, Madison Gillum. Madison is a senior biochemistry major from Suwanee, Tennessee, who is planning to attend medical school after she graduates and potentially plans on becoming a trauma surgeon. I first met Madison when she was a sophomore in my organic chemistry course. In a rare turn of events, it was during this course that Madison decided to, in her words, join the dark side and change her major to a Bachelor's of Science in Biochemistry. And I got the privilege of becoming her major advisor. From the beginning, I noticed that Madison is a highly motivated individual. She demonstrated a particular talent for being able to absorb large quantities of information and put them together into the bigger picture. I can easily say that she was one of the best in her organic chemistry class at not only understanding how the individual reactions worked, but how they worked relative to each other in such a way that she developed an exceptional ability to solve multi-step synthesis problems, an area of the course that often gives even the best students trouble. She seemed to really understand the individual concepts even better when they were connected to the big picture. She is a problem solver and is always trying to get to the root of why something happens the way it does, or why a particular answer is the correct one, rather than simply focusing on knowing what the answer is. She is persistent and works tirelessly to achieve her goals. But she doesn't stop there. She also actively helps and encourages her peers in the lab and in the classroom and on campus as well. For these reasons, I asked her to be a supplemental instruction leader for my organic chemistry course, and she has brought her perspective to help students in my course ever since. Madison, you're going to be very hard to replace. She has a high degree of perseverance when things don't work as well as expected, maybe more than any student I've had. I'll give you a few examples. While she was in my organic chemistry course, she had a particular experiment that didn't work, which is fine. It happens to everyone, and more importantly, it was a procedure where it was a true experiment. We didn't know if every single one would work. She carried out her procedure, she collected her data, and it gave a result that said that she didn't produce the product that she was trying to produce. She had everything she needed to complete the assignment, so in that regard, she had done her job. But it wasn't enough for her. She got into her textbook, she researched online, and came up with a hypothesis on how to fix the procedure that I had given her. And she tried again to get her reaction to work, which it didn't. So she tried again and again. Never mind the fact that I had told her she had done way more than enough to write her lab report. On the fourth attempt, after she had altered every variable she could think of, she found a way to get the reaction to produce the product. Without going back and looking it up, I couldn't tell you what lab it was or what she was trying to make. But I will not ever forget how she demonstrated her passion for learning, and most importantly, how she always tries to be the best she can at everything that she does. Another example was the time that Dr. Unger and I took students to the Little River to do an electroshock fishing survey of rainbow trout with the National Park Service. This is also when Madison was a sophomore. Now you might be thinking, why would a pre-med biochemistry major be interested in going out and doing field environmental research? But that's just who she is. She was in there with a mix primarily of biology majors, many of whom wanted to do field research. But by the end of the day, Dr. Unger was completely convinced that Madison was a new biology major transfer student because of how quickly she picked up the procedures we were doing and how enthusiastically and fearlessly she jumped into the raging river, wading upstream with buckets full of fish. In fall 2019, she worked very hard to find a research opportunity, and she was selected for an NSF, National Science Foundation, funded REU at the University of Tennessee for the upcoming summer. The current pandemic threw a wrench in most of our plans for 2020 and even continuing now, and Madison was no exception. The news that the pandemic was going to cancel the REUs for the summer, was a devastating blow, at least initially. Madison, who's never one to throw in the towel or admit defeat, somehow managed to work out a way to complete the research that she had planned for her senior study in the lab that had accepted her for the REU, despite all of the new restrictions in place and the program being officially canceled. Her passion, persistence, and compassion for others extend far out of the classroom. While she is a serious student, she is also a serious friend, a serious advocate for those who have been put in her charge, and also she is serious about bringing change to systems that treat others unfairly. Her work in residence life as a resident assistant has at many times brought her great stress. And I can remember many conversations that we've had in my office where you were maybe even close to your breaking point with the stress of helping others. Whether it was helping her residents who were struggling with the loss of a family member, or the stress of a more difficult than anticipated semester, or just general roommate issues. You help these students all while balancing your own workload, and she gives her time freely to those who need her. She also brings her enthusiasm to her service to the community as one of the college's Bonner Scholars. This past year, she was selected as one of the senior interns, or depending on who you ask, the Queen of the Bonners. She's helped to develop programming to guide freshmen who will be taking her place serving our community when she graduates. It's clear that she doesn't want to see the work that she has put so much time and energy into fade away, and that she wants to prepare those who are going to come after her to learn from her experiences. She does not hesitate to ask direct, blunt questions when she observes what appears to be an unjust system of doing things. She has never hesitated to bring either her own concerns or concerns of other students to her professors, a resident director or program director, or even the dean or president of the college. Whatever it took to get an answer as to why a particular system was in place or why a decision was made, she took those links to get those answers. I know I'm not the only one on campus who has observed her intelligence, tenacity, and direct way of communicating. I think it was this reputation that she had built that ultimately led to her being selected as one of the students who would serve the college in selecting a new president. From what I've heard from other people who were in the room, Madison was not one to be intimidated by the candidates or ask meek questions, so much so that even some of the faculty on the search committee fed her questions to ask the candidates. I have no doubt that after leaving Maryville College, Madison will continue to tenaciously pursue her goals. I have no doubt that she will continue to keep that same sense of adventure that makes her the type of person who will jump in and try new things and never stop learning. She is a rare mix of a student who passionately enjoys learning in the classroom, mentoring and serving others, volunteering at a medical clinic, and trying new things. I could tell you way more stories that further illustrate exactly who Madison is and all the ways that I've had the privilege of watching her grow and mature as a student. Madison is truly one of the outstanding seniors in the class of 21, and it is my privilege to present her as one of the finalists this year. I will now turn it over to Dr. Ann McKee, who will present a few of this year's Student Leadership Awards.
Hi, I'm Ann McKee, the campus minister. In keeping with the dual mission of the Center for Campus Ministry, we recognize students, faculty, staff, and community agencies who contribute to mutual partnership and the greater well-being of all. We call these awards community engagement. And we also recognize those who have strengthened the robust, welcoming, and diverse expression of religious life on the campus. While we have many awards that will be listed this year, I am happy to announce two of them now. In the area of community engagement, the Community Engaged Students of the Year have made outstanding contributions to the field of healthcare, particularly in our community-wide efforts to serve those affected by COVID-19. These two students have served faithfully at the Care Today Clinic at East Tennessee Medical Group. The Community Engaged Students of the Year are Brian Krauser and Madison Gilliam. Now, in the area of religious life, the Charles and Mary Ensign Scholarship Award was established in 1982 by James Ensign in memory of his parents who graduated from the college in the 1880s. This award is presented each year to two graduating seniors who have, as Mr. Ensign said, been a Christian influence on their peers during their years at college. The award specifies that the recipients should receive a gift of lasting value that will remind them of their time at the college. Thus, they will each receive a beautiful frame for their college diplomas. This year, we have two recipients who have truly been visible and important leaders in campus religious life. These two students are examples of integrity, kindness, generosity, and growing in faith while taking full advantage of the education that Maryville has to offer. The first served as a leader in InterVarsity Christian Fellowship and was always ready to befriend students and nurture them in finding support, care, and love on campus. Though she graduated in December, we are happy to honor Jordan Stafford. And also, a student who has been an important contributor to chapel programs through her singing and playing guitar, her speaking, and her steady presence, who has mentored others through her role as an RA and also as an Isaac Anderson scholar, as well as with her never-failing kindness. Will you join me in congratulating Ellie Forrester? We are grateful for each contribution that each student has made to our programs this year, and we look forward to watching their progress in the future.